on here, if anybody still watches my channel. If you're here, identify yourself, please. Somebody say something if you're here, or it won't start playing back for the people that come later. Oh, who do we got? Tanya, hello, and WCMW, what's up, my man? I haven't done one of these in a while. Just wanted to come on and talk with you guys for a little bit, talk about things going on, of course. I'm really starting to get irritated at a lot of events taking place, but you know, it's one of those things to where you can't really get irritated, but you can, type of thing. I mean, it's tough. It really is tough, especially when you read all the time and you can see through half of this stuff here, and you know. I've been on a cigar kick lately. What's going on, everybody? I can't see a damn thing. Verse, what's going on? You know what? I texted Tig a minute ago because he always tells me to text him whenever I'm going live. So I texted him. I said, hey, if I go live here in a little bit, will you be there? And he never got back to me. He might be working or something. I'm not sure what he's doing. But I guess we can go ahead and start talking about all the false flag shootings that they've been pulling off lately. Like what? 10 within the past week and a half? Really starting with, I mean, they started before, and they've been going on for a while, but this Buffalo thing that happened about, what, a week and a half ago now? I mean, come on. Like, we're at that point now in this entire reset to where they're done. they're done messing with us. They're moving along with this entire thing. And I said in one of my last videos, I said, I don't think they expected this little tiny bit of resistance that there is, and we're all spread out super thin. I hope the wind's not bothering you guys. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. But yeah, I mean, the only resistance that there is are people like us. You know, we're like spread throughout the country, and you know, we just talk and try to tell people what's going on and try our best to get ahead of this thing and stay on top of it and whatnot. But you know, it's just one of those things. And we got the World Health Organization here, you know, what is it, next month? Is it next month? No, it was this month, actually. I think it's tomorrow. Today's the 21st? Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. Isn't it the 22nd? They got that thing going on with the World Economic Forum to where they're basically taking over the entire world health policy of all countries. So just one more step in the you know, world government consolidation, and people don't seem to care. And you know, people keep arguing over politics, or I see people complaining about gas prices or blaming Joe Biden and talking about Donald Trump still. And I'm like, you people are crazy, man. I'm telling you, you people are insane. Like arguing over Hegelian dialectic puppets. Literal puppets. Nothing's ever changed. It's all been going the same direction. But people are still like, oh, I see people in my area. Like, I live in a place where there's a lot of rednecks. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. There's a whole bunch of rednecks in my area. And all they've been saying, oh, all you Biden voters better be, you know, ready to listen to us and this and that, because you should have listened. I'm like, dude, you people are, makes me so mad. And they fight with each other. Like, how are we supposed to come to any logical conclusion and solution to any of this while these people are going around not playing with a full deck of cards? Does this make sense to you guys? It's just insane. It's crazy. And then they got the AI World Government Symposium coming up in October. So I'm anxious to see what that's about. I'm going to be trying to watch that if there's any kind of footage of it, which I'm sure there'll be hush-hush about it. Because basically it's in the title. Artificial Intelligence World Government. You know, the one that don't exist. I make that joke all the time, but I swear the traffic in this town. I make that joke all the time, but I mean, it's relevant, even still. Like, people still are making fun of people like us, calling us crazy, lunatics, tinfoil hat wearers, the whole nine. How's it going? I mean, granted, some people are starting to come around now, but it's not nearly enough, you know, to actually get anything done. So how's everybody been? How are you guys doing with all this? Yeah, good to see everybody here. Good to see. I haven't done one of these in a while. I've been super busy, working a lot, that whole thing. Just waiting for, you know, the collapse of the dollar, because they basically told us that. I shared that video a couple weeks ago, that woman from the, I think it was World Economic Forum, I forget her name. But she was saying, oh, we're ready now to unleash this new digital world currency system and abandon the traditional way of money and this and that. And people saw that and they were like, yeah, no big deal. I'm going to go watch TV. I'm going to go to McDonald's and poison myself. Oh yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Since you talked to Tig, you know what? I texted him and he hasn't texted me back, and he usually does. Yeah, he usually texts me back pretty quick. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. A lot of people I work with now are starting to come around. They've been listening to me talk for like 7 years now. And they're starting to, you know, starting to understand what's going on. And there's even people messaging me and they're like, what do we do? Like, I don't know what you should do. Don't ask me how I knew this was coming. You should have known this was coming the whole time like the rest of us. I mean, geez, I'm only 28 years old. I read a lot. I know what's real and what's not. That's it. I verify things that I read. I listen to people that are in power when they talk. Here's this guy walking at me. Stand by. That was weird. Yeah, you too, Susie. Good to see you. Good to see all you guys. I'm actually happy to be doing this. It was just like on a whim. Yeah, I just told Reagan, I said, hey, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to walk around. I think I'm going to go live. She was like, oh, you should. The spraying has been crazy here lately. And the air has been kind of real heavy and real humid-like, but not like a natural humid. Like, it's like more muggy than usual. We've been having a lot more threats of tornadoes and things like that. And whenever I was growing up, I remember people saying all the time, like, we would never get tornadoes around here. That would never happen, this and that. And we've actually gotten, oh man, last year, we got like 5 or 6 of them last year, just in one town, like one little area. So like the geoengineering is off the charts. But you guys all know about the inflation and all that, which I explained in my last video, how that all works and how it's all manufactured. And I try to explain that to people in my everyday life, and they look at me like I'm stupid. Like, yeah, good one. Okay, someone has to tell me who James Munder is. What happened? Did he pass away? Do verse? No, actually, I haven't talked to Tim in a long time. For some reason, we just quit talking. Like, I would talk to him every single day. We would talk on the phone. We would, exchange information back and forth. But then, all of a sudden, just one day, we just quit talking. I don't know what happened. And this was about a year ago. A little over a year ago. So I'm really not sure what's going on with that. Now, was this James Munder guy, was he like, did he make videos and stuff? Now, you know what's crazy is these food shortages and whatnot. And how long have we been talking about they're going after the food? How long have we heard people like, for instance, Richie from Boston? How many times did he tell us over the past couple years that they're going for the food, that they're going to take the food, get what you got to get? And he said, every single time I watched him, he said, you don't even have to get the Patriot Pantry stuff. Just get something. Most people didn't want to listen. So, guess what? Now we're in a position where we have to listen. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to look into James Munder then. I've never heard of him. Truly, I haven't. Do you guys think it's suspicious that he got in that car accident, or you think it was like a freak thing? See a tornado in, what is that, Gaylord, Michigan? Is that Michigan or Minnesota? No, Minnesota's MN. So a tornadoes in Michigan, that's kind of odd too, ain't it? No, but all of this stuff going on, guys, it's in the Great Reset book. It literally is. We went over that, like the first couple of live streams that I did. We read that book. We talked about it. A lot of people talked about it. All this is contrived, and these people are just... I follow different pages across like a bunch of different social media sites, or I read different things across the internet, and so I look at, extreme right sources, extreme left sources, middle, mid-left, mid-right, things like that. And each side is blaming the other side. And they always have the same arguments. And they can't see this. And whenever you call them out, they're just like, oh, that's not true. Hey, what's this? Some weird stuff. But they're just like, oh, the Republicans, or this is their responsibility, and they did this, and the other side is the same thing, depending on who's in power. It's literally insane to watch. And I'm always left wondering, well, let me see. Wait, he often said he was a targeted individual. Some people are saying it's a freak thing. The battle's going, my man. The battle's going. It's one of those things to where, me personally, it's more of a hearts and minds thing now. Like people I talk to in everyday life. Like even in my own family. Try to explain to them, like, it has nothing to do with presidents. It's got nothing to do with these actors in Congress or anywhere else. Nothing to do with any of that. These people are literally all just put there to give you the illusion of choice and to make you think that something's getting done. But the reality is, they have these meetings at the World Economic Forum, United Nations and whatnot, and those are the people that are making the real decisions. Traffic in this town is ridiculous. There he is. There's Tig. Tig, we were just talking about you, my man. WCM was actually worried about you. He said you haven't talked to him in like 2 weeks. And I don't think he texted me back. Maybe he did, but I've been on here for like 15 minutes, so. But anyway, So people, even like every day on the street, they put the stupid Joe Biden stickers up on the gas pumps and they think that that's something. And they're like, yeah, Biden did this. Like, no, this is contrived because they're getting rid of fossil fuels. They're getting rid of gasoline. They're switching everything over to, the quote, green or smart cars that are going to be automated in the artificial intelligence smart cities. It's all part of the fourth industrial revolution. And really all it takes is some reading. It doesn't even take that much reading. People are insane, man. And they say we're the insane ones. And then you bring up some actual proven facts and you're not just talking out of your ass like most of these people are, and they're like, I don't believe that. Let's see. Yeah, Tig, you're a lie. That's all that counts, man. That's all that counts. But I mean, all this stuff going on at this point in time, and we're 3 years into this. 3 years. When this thing first started, I was like, there's no way. There's no way that these people are just going to let this go on like this. No one's dead. There's not people laying in the street. I'm honestly surprised that it's gotten this far. I thought that when push came to shove, I thought people were going to have each other's backs. I thought that real patriots, not the posers, real patriots were going to stand up. And they were going to, do what needed to be done. But no. And now we're all lumped into this group because of people like, what's his name? Tucker Carlson, and people like actually just like QAnon and all that. We're all lumped into this group now to where it doesn't matter what you say, everything is included within this far right, what do they say? Oh, you're all just extremist, far right, militarized, white supremacists, this and that, this and that. None of it's true, of course, and I'm sure there are some people out there like that, but for the most part, none of us identify with that. If I had to place myself on the political spectrum, the actual political spectrum, I would place myself directly in the middle, where we're supposed to be. Let's see. It's just one of those things. My cigar right now. You guys got to give me a second. I look around and I just see people just blind, totally blind. And I've been struggling with the idea of lost hope lately. Because I'm like, what can we even do? I mean, the only thing that would stop this is some mass awakening all at one time. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, all the information's been there the whole time. It's been there since before all this even started going on. We knew about the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Warburgs. We knew about these guys for the longest time. These businesses, they're actual, like, real gangsters is what they are. People that control the entire world. They destroyed our way of life. They polluted everything. They basically took everybody's way of life and threw it out the window. They took our food, they poisoned it, they poisoned our air. I mean, look here right now. Let me show you guys something. I don't think I could turn this camera around, but let me show you something. If you can get it. Look at the sun. You see that? Are you guys seeing that right now? There's just a white haze over the sun. blue sky back here, right? And then you get about right here, and then bam, right where the sun's at. And if you look closely, he's up there spraying right now, right in front of it. I hope you guys saw that. It's ridiculous. I mean, sometimes we'll have a blue sky with just nothing but sun and a little bit of clouds, but that's only for like an hour, and then it's gone. I don't know what's left to do at this point, guys, honestly, except for what we've been doing, trying to wake people up, talking to people, showing them who the real enemy is, not pointing fingers at each other, not falling for every little tiny prepackaged news story they throw at you. Like for instance, the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. You really think that if that was legit, for the sake of this conversation, if that was legit, Russia would run through Ukraine in less than 20 minutes? That's how that would work, if it was legit. But for some reason, they have us believing that Ukraine held their own and they're pushing the Russians back and this and that. And it's literally a whole thing to make Ukraine a NATO outpost and to, well, destroy Russia, because there's not going to be any nation states. It's not going to exist. Yep, 40 billion we just sent over there. It's crazy. It's literally insane. They got all this money just go throwing around, which makes sense if they're intentionally trying to collapse the US dollar, which they are. We know that. Because according to the people at the World Economic Forum, they're ready. They're ready for the new currency. That woman literally said that they're ready to abandon the traditional system of money and put through a new one. What's up, fellas? And you know what? When push comes to shove, I'm hoping that people, I swear, these people are crazy in this town, just flying by. But when push comes to shove, I'm hoping that people will be like, no, we're not going to stand for this. We're going back to barter and trade. We don't want your order. We don't want your new currency. We don't want any of it. We're not going to partake in your depopulation program. We're not going to. But, you know, people aren't going to do that. They're going to complain on social media that there's no food. And they're going to complain that there's no baby formula for their baby. Like, why do you think that is? And it's not just because Bill Gates now, you know, that whole thing that's going on with him and the baby formula. It's not just because of that. They're doing that because it's depopulation. These people want 500 million people by the year 2030. That puts us at what? 7.5 years? And at the rate they're going, they're ahead of schedule. Simple as that. I mean, when it comes down to it, we're just going to have to be ready. Especially people, you know, that are out there being outspoken. And like people that have a following like myself. I'll go before you guys will. I'm on the red list. I already know that for a fact. But still, like, once you see that, once you see people start getting taken out in droves, like I'm going to look into this whole Munder thing, but we had a couple other people within this community that passed away. Like Alan Watt, remember him? Yep. David Goldberg. There was a few of them. Not saying that I'm big enough, you know, for anything to happen like that, but for some reason, if they thought that I was some kind of threat, then, you know. It's actually kind of funny because I got people at work, even like people in management positions that watch my videos and stuff. Isn't that kind of weird? And I work for a decent sized company too. Yep. And people talk to me about it all the time. And at first I thought it was kind of weird because I didn't want to get fired because of something I said on here, but they're all pretty cool with it. Most of them are on the same page. Yeah, build back, because they're already an empire, yeah. And people think build back better is a Joe Biden slogan. Like, no way. That they were talking about that at BlackRock back in 2018, 2019. We went over that. They were talking about build back better as part of the Great Reset into the New World Order. But for some reason, people associate it with Joe Biden. And they're like, oh yeah, Joe Biden came up with this. No, he didn't. Some senile old man did not come up with this. That dude don't even know where he is half the time. He goes to sign papers and they're literally like, oh, just sign here. And he's like, I don't even know what I'm signing. Just sign it. And Trump was no better. His ego was so big. He'd be like, oh yeah, I'm signing this and signing that, and we're going to do this and grow the government even more and sell you out even more. But people called that patriotism under Trump. Still do. I live in an area where they're still flying Trump flags. How about this one for you older people? I get no respect. I get no respect. Did you guys get that reference? Let's see. New girl at work, trained 3 months ago. Worked 3 months, I've known her 1 month total, and she does not know anything about the shortages. How does she not know anything about the shortages? It's everywhere. You go to your local store, so there. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. I think I just stepped on a beehive in the ground. Yeah, but you can't not know about the shortages. They literally told us they were doing it. People are crazy. There's a lot of things people don't know about. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield, you got it. Who was that? I can't see my glasses on. Hippie hermit, yep. Yeah, I get no respect. That guy's actually kind of funny. That's hilarious. But anyway, yeah, I just figured we'd get a good laugh in. It's kind of hard to do that anymore. You know, with the way things are. And look, in the last 10 minutes I was talking to you guys, check this out. Look at the sun now. Gone. See how that worked out? Yeah, back then I'm sure it was like that. You'd have to restock the shelves after a crazy sale and whatever. I swear. But nowadays there's a shortage of everything. People are literally on social media begging for people to tell them where to get baby formula. Like, and people ask me for years, oh Austin, how come you're not having any children? Because I know what's about to go down in the world. Oh, you're crazy, that's never gonna happen. Well, it's happening right now. What do you gotta say now? These people are so upset that they can't provide for their children. I couldn't do that to my own flesh and blood. It's bad enough that my parents didn't have the infinite wisdom to, not have me. But I'm here for a reason, as we all are, so. Yep, it is all scripted. It always has been. You can even tell. All you gotta do is get the Illuminati card game, play it. Everything's right there. Yeah, then you get people with their boats and their bikes and stuff, and they think that everything's all good, and you should see it, especially in this area. I'm going this way, that's annoying. People in my area, like, I live in the Ohio Valley. The Ohio Valley is literally 10 years behind the rest of the world. So whatever's... This guy's riding a dirt bike in the middle of a town. Jackass. I guess it's my fault for trying to record a live stream when people are outside. Yeah, I get no respect, right? But anyway, people in this area are so... If I try to talk to somebody, they're like, oh, well, as soon as Trump comes back in 2024, everything's going to be all good. We're going to have dollar gasoline again. I'm like, are you crazy? You really think that's going to happen? Where do you live? What piece of land do you have your head buried in? There is a shortage of critical thinking. I agree with that. And there's also, a lot of people are dumb, most definitely, but I feel like a lot of people are also lazy. People are too lazy. Like, people don't want to cook anymore. People don't want to do anything anymore. They want convenience, 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 because this is how we were taught over time. We were taught to want things to be convenient. And convenience was our downfall. Because now, nobody knows how to take care of themselves. People have lost all responsibility. And freedom comes with responsibility. You're supposed to be responsible for yourself and for other people. Which is why they're going to get away with, eventually, probably here pretty soon, they're going to get away with national gun control. They're going to get away with taking people's guns. Here in Ohio, on June 13th, they have constitutional carry that they passed. I mean, it don't matter to me anyway, but they have constitutional carry passed, and I feel like it's a trap. I feel like they want people to go out and start, standing their ground, all this and that, so they can have more incidents of shootings and things like that, so they can further their agenda. Because no one's going to be allowed to have weapons. But we've all known that. We've all listened to Bill Cooper. You know what? I thought that too. I thought about stop warning people. I thought about calling it quits too. But you know what? How's it going? Not too bad. Not bad at all. Going for a walk. I thought about calling it quits, but I have a duty. I have a duty to myself. I have a duty to my family. I have a duty to you guys and to this country and the people of the world as a whole. Even though I only have a couple people that follow me and that listen to me, my duty is to do what I'm doing now. And I won't stop. I can't. And I actually have a good bit of information for you guys. I was going to make a regular video, but I wanted to come on and talk to you guys because it's been a while. Just wanted to go through here. Yep, that's exactly what we're doing, trying to make sense of it all. Here and where I'm at, we're going down swinging. And you know what? I'll be totally cool with that because I know where I'm going. I know the life I've lived. I mean, God might judge me for my use of tobacco and things I've done when I was younger, but, I'm hoping that I can be forgiven of that. I'm hoping I can make it through the pearly gates. And you know what? They got people to fear too, because fear is, we all know this, fear is one of the strongest tactics that they can use. And all fear stems from the fear of death. And how have they made people afraid of death? They show you movies, they show you TV shows where death is gruesome, and they show you like people suffering and this and that, but most people, unless you're killed in some tragic way, at least everybody that I've seen post-mortem, they're at peace, like they just fell asleep. So it's nothing to be afraid of. And I already told you guys my story. I already told you guys. I was there. I was right at the line. I technically shouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. It just feels like you're really tired, that's all. And I'm telling you that from experience. It just feels like you're really tired and you want to go to sleep. Looks like we got a storm coming in or something. This wind's going crazy. I'm gonna walk this way. But, like, whenever I go to work and I talk to people listen to me. Like, I got a few people I talk to on a daily basis, and we go back and forth, and we show each other things, and this and that, and it works out. But other people, even though I've been talking to them for a long time, they're still holding on to hope for Donald Trump. That they want Donald Trump to come back and solve all their problems. And I'm like, you can't put stock into a mortal man. No one person can come in, even if there was a president who did come in and who did actually want to help and who tried. First of all, they wouldn't even make it to the primaries, so there's that. Second of all, if they did and they did become president, they would be taken out within a week. And that's a fact. They got away with murdering a sitting president in broad daylight in 1963. What do you think they could do in 2022? You know what, Marty, feeling worn out from the daily news, that's exactly how they want you to feel. They want you to just feel a certain way to where you just give up and just let go of it all, and so it's easier for them to come in and, well, usurp what little freedom we have left. I swear, why is this guy getting those dogs all worked up? Why would you do that? Like the whole abortion thing that was going on. People were arguing over that. They're still arguing over that. I mean, the truth of the matter is, me personally, it doesn't matter what I believe. That's part of freedom. You can do whatever you want. That's cool. That's all right. Again, my personal beliefs aside. And we should leave it that way. It's along the same lines of refusing the shot. Hope I don't get taken down for that. My body, my choice, right? It goes all those different ways. So you got to kind of think maybe they have a ace up their sleeve. Maybe if they get away with banning that, they'll get away with banning saying no to the shot. So they're still trying to get that. I mean, the president's talking every single day. Oh, we got to get shots in arms still. We got to get out there and get shots in arms and this and that. Actually, Bill, yeah, and I have seen those. There's actually one, I'm on my block right now. There's actually one that's very close. It's like right across the street from my house, which is weird. As soon as I get over to my house, I'll show you. They put it on, because I live next to a football field, and they put it on the garage of the football field that faces my house. How weird is that? You know what's really sad about all this? I feel for the next generation that's coming up. Like, I got a niece and I got a nephew. I literally feel terrible. I feel powerless to help them. The most I can do is start to talk to them and educate them. I mean, my nephew, he's 3 now, so he's talking and doing all that. And once he gets old enough, like here in a couple years, I'm going to get him a BB gun. And then he'll graduate to a 22. And then he'll graduate to a real gun. Because that boy's going to learn how to shoot. But I feel for them, because they're coming up. And they're being raised by these machines and stuff. They're being raised by social media. They're being raised by this culture of, how's it going? They're being raised by this culture of just, well, social media in general. Like my generation is the last generation. Like when I was born, that stuff was a couple years away, but I still remember my childhood to where I didn't really grow up with that. I really didn't even start getting into that until like the 2010s when I was in high school. So when I was a kid, I wasn't exposed to that. But I'm seeing people push their 2-year-olds around in a stroller and they give them a tablet or like an iPhone or whatever. And that's ridiculous. You basically are saying and letting the state rule your kid. Let's see. The purple street lamps, you believe that they're to track the ones that got the jab. You know what? I forget what video it was, but I showed the documentation for that. I showed the documentation for the nanotechnology. It got taken down, but I showed that, where the nanotechnology was being injected into people, and I should probably quit talking about it right now, actually. Okay. I know what streetlights you're talking about, and those things freak me out. Let's see. I should be coming up on it here in a minute. It's just, I don't know, everything's just insane. Everything has gotten to a point now to where we're living under a form of Stockholm syndrome. Even us, the people that know what's going on, even though you might not realize it. We're living under a form of Stockholm syndrome. And that comes from, well, crisis after crisis after crisis after crisis. And now you got people out there begging for the state to take away guns again, which a lot more people are starting to come around on that. I see more comments now than ever. It's just a crazy world we're living in. And you know what? We gotta do something. I don't even know what can be done at this point, honestly. Well, let's see. If you're talking to me, I haven't gone anywhere. I mean, I've been spreading out, more time in between videos, but I've been putting stuff up, and I got suspended for a week on both channels, actually. But for some reason, my backup channel, I didn't even put a video on there, and I got suspended off of there. And this was about a week after I got suspended off my main channel. Yeah, they definitely don't like me very much. I get emails from YouTube every single day about that. And they deny my appeals and all this stuff. And they try to say that I contradicted the experts on the shot and this and that, but I didn't even talk about the shot in the video. And I really don't know. I don't know what their criteria is based on now. I think you just get on there and take down things that they don't like. And that's exactly what they do. I'm hoping that you guys are all like talking to your neighbors, talking to people you work with, explaining to them about this, about transhumanism, about Great Reset, about New World Order, about all of that, because it's pretty important. And they at least need to be aware of it, because if not, then they're sitting ducks. And someone's cutting grass. I'm gonna go this way, because most people still believe in the institution of government. They believe that government can change things, but the truth is, government, they don't provide anything. They really don't. They're middlemen. They take from businesses, they take from people, but they don't provide anything. I guess you could argue that they provide security, but that's not true. Their form of security is putting a boot on your neck, literally. But name one thing that government has actually provided. You won't be able to find anything, because anything that they have provided, we actually provide. It comes from our pockets. It comes from our resources. Like people say, oh, roads and schools and this and that. You take the government out of it. If we were responsible enough, we could build our own roads. We could build our own schools. People used to do that. But in this world we live in now, where convenience is our downfall, just want to hand it off to the ever-growing totalitarian government to provide for you, which I still don't understand that. And you can call me an extremist, you can call me whatever you want, but that's the truth. Let's see. Yep, taxation is most definitely theft. Speaking of that, listen to this. So, the town that I live in, well, not only do we have to pay federal income tax and state income tax, but the town that I live in is now charging myself and my wife separately, by the way. I think it's about $800 each for a regional income tax, or I face the penalty of litigation court. Well, guess who's not paying? This guy. Crazy. Like, to do what? Live in your town? First of all, my taxes that come out of my paycheck and things that I buy goes to provide for this town. So you already got what you got from me. I'll pay my constitutional allotted taxes, and that's it. And if I go to court, I'm going to ask them to show me the law where it says that I have to pay this regional income tax, or federal income tax for that matter. Yeah, I know it's crazy. Isn't that insane? And I got the paper for it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way. I am not paying that. It's not happening. Absolutely not. Like, so that would be, if I took that into consideration, on top of all the other things that we pay, I would say that'd be about 70% of my income, if not more. And the straw that broke the camel's back when our founders came here and drew up the Declaration and wrote the Constitution was a 3% tax on tea. 3%. That's before the fluoridation and the poisoned air and all that, but granted, it was a lot different back then. It's a lot different now. Like, people aren't even people anymore. They're just robots. They're just like, I will do what I'm told. That's it. I really don't get it. I don't understand how it got this bad. I used to think America was, people that were, freedom loving. I used to think that this place was a great place to live. I used to think that Americans would not let things like this happen. People used to come here for freedom, right? That's how all of our ancestors got here, because they were fleeing from their respective totalitarian states. Like, for instance, my family. My nana's parents came here from Italy because they were fleeing Mussolini. My grandfather's grandparents from Ireland because they were fleeing the British. And on my mom's side, I think some people were also fleeing the British, because on my mom's side, they're English and Italian, I think, or German. I forget exactly, but if you trace back your family lineage, you'll find that your family was coming here, which is how we all got here, because they were fleeing totalitarian states. And then, they come here, and then all of a sudden now this place is turning into, and already is, a totalitarian state. Yeah, 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Bad. Freedom is bad. Bad. It's insane. You see people in the store, you can just see them. They just fall in line. They'll walk right into you. They stay on their phones. They buy a bunch of junk. They whip out the food stamp card. And they're like, the government is paying for my food. Yeah, and that's how you're under control right there. That's how they're able to get away with telling you exactly what to do. don't know, guys. I don't know. We're in for it. But if I were you guys, which I already started doing, I would start talking to your neighbors. I would start getting involved with people in your area and start, prepping for things to go down. Because they're already talking about rolling blackouts again and that's going to lead right into this AI World Government Symposium in October. So don't be surprised if you wake up one day and the power's just gone. And we all know once it goes out, it's never coming back. At least in the form that it is now. You know what? It's sad to see. Because we have the resources and the technology in this world right now to where we could have an abundance for every single person. But they have to create these shortages and they have to create this environment so they can sell us the lie that there's too many people, right? Because they can convince us that there's too many people, then they can get away with a little bit of depopulation. For instance, I saw an article about the Georgia Guidestones, and it was a page called Weird History, and they were talking about the mystery of the Georgia Guidestones and all that, and they were explaining the tenets and showing this and showing that, which, cool, right? Well, some people were getting on there and defending the Georgia Guidestones. I couldn't believe it. They were defending them. And they were saying like, oh, these are good things, like guide reproduction wisely and be not a cancer on the earth and preserve the land and this and that. And I'm like, are you people crazy? And they were talking about how there's too many people. So they fell for the lie. So it's worked. The propaganda has worked. You believe that? I couldn't believe when I was reading it. Just people on there defending that. And like when it says guide reproduction wisely, that means control human reproduction. That's never been done before in the history of the world. Controlling human reproduction? That's crazy. That's unheard of. No human being or group of human beings should be allowed to control the reproduction of every single other human being. This whole world's about to be subjugated, and you know what? I'm at the point right now to where I'm honestly just saying, you know what, let them do it. Because you got 42 months and then you're out. And that's a fact. That's told to us right in the scriptures. Oh no, we're not overpopulated, you're right. Because you can, like, especially like here in Ohio, I can get on Interstate 70, which runs across the entire country, and you can drive for hundreds of miles and see nothing but land. Literally. Nothing but fields and woods and land and nobody in sight. It's crazy. They convince people that we're overpopulated because they cram us all in these small cities and towns and municipalities and things like that. That will be done. I'm happy you're here. Here, wait a minute. Let's see if I could do this here. I don't know if I could do this on mobile. Yeah, I agree with you, Caleb. I agree with you. There's no way that God would create the earth that could be overpopulated. It would never happen. And if it did, then there would be measures taken by God through nature to rectify that. But we're not even close to being overpopulated. And that's why they lie about the nature of the earth in general. I read somewhere before that you could fit everybody in Anchorage, Alaska. You can put everybody in Anchorage, Alaska with about, I think it's Anchorage, Alaska, but you could stick everybody there with like, I think it's, I forget the dimensions of it, but you would have enough room for every single person in the entire world in Alaska, which is like a small percentage of the land mass in the entire world. And also, we don't even know of all the land mass that there actually is, because nobody's allowed to go past Antarctica. So we don't even know what lies beyond that. We don't even know the true nature of our world. We know what we've been told. That's it. That's what I try to tell people. I'm like, you only know what you've been told about everything. Doesn't matter what it is. But you know, I'm the crazy one, apparently. Well, I guess it's just one of those things we're going to have to keep an eye on. Charlie, how's it going? We're going to have to keep an eye on this, these events coming up, these meetings that they're having at the World Economic Forum. We're going to have to watch the AI World Government Symposium in October. And I don't know if you guys seen that video that I did, but I went through it a couple times in a separate video as well. Every single agency of the United States government, of the United States military, all these NGOs, all these different corporations are all involved in this thing. And it's virtual and in person in Washington, D.C. Pretty sure it's October 6th and 7th. That's a medevac helicopter. And I wonder what they're going to be discussing there, because the Fourth Industrial Revolution, they've already got that. People already took the shot. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. I mean, I give it a shot. I do the best I can. I mean, you know, I'm only one person, so I can only do so much. But I would like to get in touch with other people that do this and maybe try to do a collab with a few people, but don't know how that would work out. Don't even know how I'd get a hold of other people. But I got a lot of material that I have to go through that I'm going to bring to you guys. I got this whole thing that Frank actually sent me. You guys know Frank. He's been here before. And it's all every single sign and symbol that we talk about here and elsewhere. And it's from the, I forget what he said it's from. It's from National Archives, I believe. And it's every single sign and symbol, the explanation of them, what they're used for, what they're still used for today. Starting with the Baphomet. So that you see, like, you know, when you get into towns and you see the Freemasonic symbol, and it's literally a symbol of the Baphomet. It is on the 22nd, so it's tomorrow then. The World Health Organization takeover thing. I'm gonna look into that actually. But guys, I think I'm gonna jump off here because it's about to start raining, and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna compile some more stuff, and I might have time to put out a video tomorrow. If not, then I'm gonna have to put it out on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, anybody want to say anything before we get out of here? Tig, I'm happy that you made it, brother. I texted you right before I came on. I said, hey, man. I said, if I go live in a little bit, will you be there? And then I was like, I waited like 10 minutes and then I jumped on here. But it's all good. You got my number. You can talk to me anytime. Oh, if anybody wants to copy down my email, because I don't think I can write it in here. Wait, maybe I can. No, I can't. For some reason, I cannot. I will say hi to her. Marty, I will. Okay, but here's my email. It's Austin J Star with 2 R's 0127 at gmail.com. You can email me anything from hello, how you doing, to look at this. And I will check it out and I will get back to you. I'll let this go maybe another minute before we jump off here. Let's see. Yeah, I did see that I seen that where they came out and said the supply chain won't be fixed for 10 years. Yeah, that's what they do. They come right out and they say it, and they're like, this is what we're doing. Because they're not hiding it anymore. They don't have to hide it. They know we're not going to do anything. They know that people are too lazy and comfortable. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take people to get uncomfortable. And most people won't care until it comes down to not being able to go to a party on Friday night. Not being able to get money out of your bank account. Not being able to live in the house you live in. That's when people are going to start getting angry. But it's going to be too late. I guess we'll have to see where it goes. Kim, you're absolutely right. And they don't realize that 2,500 or less, or maybe a little more, either way, they don't even know that they're getting together. And we can't expect them to see the truth in the headlines. They just take them at face value. And they think that they're all separate instances when in fact they're all together. And they all prove motive of an agenda. And that agenda is for, of course, world government. And it all fits. Like whenever you buy into the left and the right and all that, there's always so many unanswered questions. There's always so many unanswered questions. Like, why is this like this? Why is this like this? But when you see it for what it really is, no question is left unanswered. We have an explanation for everything. For all of it. With proof to show. But it still don't matter. Because people, they don't care about the truth. They care about what they believe. And they care about their image and their status. And that's it. And they care about what's on their plate. And they care about what's on their television. And they care about arguing with other people. Yep, it's at Gmail, Marty. Yep. It's Austin J Star with 2 R's 0127 at gmail.com. But alrighty, guys, God bless every single one of you. And God willing, I will try to put out a video tomorrow. If not, Monday. If everything is still alright. You never get notifications. Yeah, you'll just have to check every couple days because there's people that I work with that say they never get my own wife doesn't get my notifications. As funny as that is, I ask her every time, hey, did you get a notification for my video? She either says yep or she says no. So, alright guys, I think I'm going to go and do whatever I got to do, and hopefully I'll see you guys real soon. I'm going to come on live again soon, so God bless all of you.